Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with the 100 girlfriends that really love you episode season 2 episode number 11 reaction. So the previous episode we get to meet the newest character. Her name is Kakure Meme, and she keeps her eyes hidden. She's very shy, and like for a moment when her eyes, the bangs on her face kind of went out, she saw Rentaro, and that whole crack happened. And yeah, so in the end, Rentaro, she was kind of like having a dilemma, because she was thinking, like, if I go out with Rentaro, I won't be able to, like, because of my social anxiety, I won't be able to be, I won't be that free and won't be able to hang out with him like every other people can. So she was hesitating, but Renta was like, don't worry, I'll even if you try to hide or run away, I'll find you. And yeah, so that was the first section, and the second section was a little bit of an icebreaker. Basically, they had a little hide and seek competition, and obviously she won in the end, but yeah, it was a nice little thing for to kind of break the ice with her and the other people, all the other members of the family. And yeah, okay, so let's see what happens today. Two more episodes left, this one and the next one, so let's see what happens for the finale of this season. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. Three, two, one, go. Hmm. What is this? Some kind of dream? Probably. Damn, that's a mouthful. Yeah. Well, damn. Yeah, this is a dream. Okay. Hmm. Wait, do they update their picture wallpaper every time a new character joins? I guess. Oh my god. Hurt Sable. What? Snack? Right. Kurumi's face is gone. Damn! Do uh wait, 12? Oh no, Rentaro is I forgot to count him. Delicious. Right. Yeah. All right. Well, that's against your character archetype, unfortunately. Bruh. Oh, yeah, his eyes turn into a mouth. Okay. What? Okay. Oh no. Damn. Wow. Damn. What the hell is happening here? Okay, it's sumo. Damn. Right. Ghost and Gob. D Sundarafai met. Yeah, convenient. Yeah. She'll drink it probably. Damn. Oh, she drank it, right? Nah, she drank it. Nah, she drank it. Good God. Is this the god? What the hell? Wait, what? What? Sundares. Why were you even making that? Oh, she said she made it in a mistake. Damn. Wow. Rentaro kun. She's like right. Yeah. Um okay. Ah. Oh wow. That's why? It probably won't work as it used to work because, yeah, it won't work. That he's like, yeah, what is this? I don't like this new Karane. Right. Yeah. Okay. Right. Oh boy. Right. um. Oh. Oh yeah, she was looking at that. She was thinking about it. Hmm. Wow. Right. Hmm. Wow. Nah, wait a minute. The thing is, oh yeah, she was also the Sukkomi of. She always used to. Okay. Makes sense. Damn. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Damn. That's. Oh yeah, they fell over here. Remember? Hmm. That's true. But she's like, you don't have to go out of your way to. Yeah. Yeah. Well. Okay. Five explosion. SCM. Yeah. So what? All the Sundare rays that got dispersed, are all of them going to converge and come back in her or something? Ah, it's calling it back. Right. Is she back? Yeah, she's back. Her. Yeah. No. What? What is this? Yeah. Um. Hmm. Three loss. That's true. Her personality kind of made a drastic change. Acting? I don't think that'll work. Will it? Right. Okay. Come on. It's time for you too. Um. Okay. I think that's enough. Right. Hmm. Yeah, that's a. Oh boy. Right. Oh boy. Yeah. All right. The blast. Oh boy. Mm. Hmm. Everyone generates. Yeah, that actually makes sense. People have, the time when they try to hide their feelings. Exposing her to weak signals. Yeah. Okay. But the thing is, how long will it take? Because she obviously she'll need to go back home. Otherwise, her parents will be. Hmm. Yeah. Damn. Right. Well, this won't work. What are you doing? Okay, I thought she was, I don't know, sniffing them or something. Um, embarrass her even more. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. Right. Wait, what? What? Iron gauntlets. Oh no. Oh my god. Wow. Um. But nah, man, that's mechanical. What the hell? Right. What are you, a girl? Bro. Right. Well. Yeah. Right. Bring out the soon. Yeah, Harry was just peeping on them. Oh god. Great. Transfusion. They're used to this a bit too much. Yeah? Right. Right. Hmm. Okay. There you go. That was today's episode. So that was episode 11, I think. Yeah, episode 11. One more episode left after this. For the season, obviously. Right. So I was wondering what we're going to get because usually in the season finale, we get like like a certain like significant thing happening. Like in the previous episode, in the previous season, we had the whole situation with Hahari. Like when Hahari was introduced, and like that section. That was a pretty big turning point of the story. And I was wondering, like what's going to happen this time, and we see the whole Karane's. I guess it's kind of interesting because in the previous season we had something related to Hakari, and this season we have something related to Karane. Like something significant happening. Because it's usually like meeting the characters and getting to know them. So yeah, so now the thing that happened today was basically Karane thinking if her Sundreness actually affects or is going to affect the relationship further down the road, where everyone else can be honest about it, however she cannot. Right, and that is what kind of puts her into a dilemma, and she is like, yeah, like I don't know, like she dreams about it. She has like she's thinking what's going to happen. So when presented with an opportunity to desundify herself with that drug, she took it. And by the end of it, she realized that yeah, I preferred how I was before. So one thing that Rentaro said is basically, that section is that, as Rentaro said, like if you want to be like this, then it's okay. Like yeah, if you genuinely wanted to change yourself, then that's completely fine. Like yeah, you can you can do what you want. However, if by any chance you decided to change yourself because you were concerned or didn't like your previous self, or thought that oh, like being like this is going to hamper our relationship in the future, if if your changing yourself came from a thought process like that, then I will say that you know go back to your previous self, because that would mean that like she doubted herself, because like that would mean that she genuinely didn't want to change herself, but she changed herself because of a fear that oh, this is going to happen, so I have to so there's nothing to fear. Like in the first place, I started going out with you because I liked you like that. So like your fear, whatever you're thinking is, nothing like that is going to happen. So that's basically what Rentaro was saying. As he said, like if she actually like wanted to change herself, like it was like a genuine thing that she wanted to do, then that's fine. But if she did it because of fear of something, or or fearing that oh, like this is going to hamper like our relationship in the future, then you don't have to worry about it. If you want, you can go back. And then Kanye herself said that yeah, I do want to go back. I want to go back to the way how I was when I met you first. Yeah, but the problem was that the desundifying rays, or whatever it was called. No, sorry, the Sundares. that's that's a pun. Sundare, Ray. They apparently dispersed, and now to bring them back, it's a bit difficult, because she, I don't know. I guess they kind of explained that she'll need to bring back the Sundariness from her inside, and that'll probably attract the ones that got dispersed and come back within her, or something like that. I don't know. This is I don't know the whole like scientific reasoning behind this phenomenon, but that's what Kusuri said, something along those lines. So she will have to fall into situations where usually her Sundariness would have been activated. And that's why Rentaro and everyone is trying to put her in situations like that. Like, complimenting her, doing stuff that she would feel happy about, but obviously, since she's a Sundare, she won't be able to uh, be honest about it. So she would try to deny it, those type of situations. But the problem is that she's like just accepting it honestly at this current stage. She still hasn't reached that stage. Whenever they're complimenting her or something, she's like, "Oh, really? Thank you," or something like that, which is obviously something that a Sundar would never do. A Sundar would probably like first say that, "Oh, like it's not like I wanted you to say that," and then smack you 2 or 3 times. That's what a Sundar would have done in that situation. So obviously, it's not really working. But as they said, if they keep doing this, keep repeating these multiple times, maybe like it'll regenerate back again. Like I said, I love the whole scientific reasoning behind today's episode, where there was also a section where Kusuri was talking about how everyone has these sundares within them. But for a few people it's a bit higher, which is obviously Karane. um yeah, so there you go. Now, so I love the fact that usually they don't acknowledge the parents at all, but this time they were like, "Oh, what would happen if your parents get to see you like this? They'll be freaked out. So you know what? Stay in our place." And Hakari was like, "Yeah, stay in our place." So there you go. That's why now they're here. I do wonder how long it'll take, because obviously they cannot keep. What are they going to tell her parents? Like, now that they brought that whole thing up, like, what are they going to tell her parents? Like, 1 or 2 days they might be like, "Oh yeah, she's having like a sleepover or something." But if that can't prolongs for like a long time, like, she will have to go back to her house. So, then what? But hopefully within that time, I'm pretty sure it's going to come back very quickly. We have one more episode left for this season, so the next episode will probably come to a conclusion. um yeah, it'll probably be like, as we see them repeating these type of situations, it's probably going to suddenly trigger it within Karan, and suddenly one day she'll be like, not one day, but in one of the situations she'll be like, get back her whole, like, like, thing. And yeah, it'll be, next episode I'm sure we'll see that. Anyways, so yeah, that was what happened today. Now, that was basically like a proper, like a just a summary of today's episode. Right. Okay. And obviously, taking, like, like, advantage of this opportunity, we have Hahari and Hakari, both of them, both mother and daughter, trying to just, like, bring Karane to their place. Like, first Hahari was like, "Oh, like, like, yeah, what will your parents say? Come." Like, that was like her ploy, obviously. And then we have Hakari later on trying to make Rentaro do stuff to her so that he does that to her as well. And like, that was her plan. And then, yeah, it was just those two just, like, using this as an opportunity. I love how in the end we see like Hahari has like a, I don't know, like a I don't know, like a compartment full of like spare blood, like transfusion thing, so that every single time she nosebleeds out and starts lacking blood, they immediately transfuse it within her. Oh boy, like crazy. Yeah, right. Okay, what else? Was there anything else today? No, I think that was it. Uh, yeah, that was today's episode. Another funny thing is that when she became like honest, like everyone was like kind of interacting with her, and everyone was getting surprised at how honest she is. Like when complimented normally, she actually is like thankful, and she's like, "Oh, thank you for saying that." Which obviously the normal Karna would have never done that, the Sundar Karna. Like, every single person were like having like a, I guess you could say like a, like, I don't know, like something like, kind of focused on them. For example, you know what, let me talk about this part. For example, the first thing that happened after she became like this is, we have, I think, Kusuri challenge her to a sumo wrestling, right? And usually she's too damn strong, she cannot do anything, so Kusuri is able to defeat her this time. And Kusuri is happy about it. She's like, "Oh yeah, like, finally." So that makes her happy. Then we have, who else? Okay, like I was saying, like every single person was like, had like a positive experience, except one, which is Iku. She was like, oh, take this bat and hit me. She hit her, obviously, like, it doesn't really hurt. So that depressed her. She's like, what the hell is this? This isn't what I signed up for. But every single other person were actually happy with the interaction with Karane. For example, the person after that, Hakari. Hakari was like kind of like just hugging her or something, and she like like honestly says that, oh, you know what, your your chest is touching me, which she never would have done like that if she was in a normal Sundara state. She not only that, she just takes advantage of that and makes her fondle her. So that's another thing. Then we have Mimimi, who was like, oh, like like, how am I, like, am I beautiful? And she's like, yeah, and she's happy with that. So Skane would have never said that normally. Then we have Shizuka and Meme. Both of them, they were like like kind of knitting something, like crocheting, I think, like something like that. Yeah. And she was like, oh, I want to join you guys. So those two were also happy about that. Like every single person was happy about like a certain, like in a certain way. And Hari was also happy because everyone was like, and she's like, oh, this is the first time I've seen her like this, so this is amazing. And then Nano as well talks about this being efficient, her being more efficient now that she is honest, so that makes her happy as well. Everyone except Iku. Iku was like, this is horrible, what is this? But obviously what she said, like everyone felt it, in some little amount as well, that even though this is all well and good, yeah, the other Karne was also good. So if she did this voluntarily, then that's fine. But if she did it fearing something, or like, yeah, then that's not okay. You don't have to be worried about anything. And that's what Rentaro wanted to tell her, and made sure to tell her by the end of it, that if you did this because you genuinely wanted to change or something like that, then that's fine. But if you're doing this because of something, and you're like, you're like forcing yourself to do this, then don't. It's fine, because I liked the previous you as well. Right. Anyways, that was that. Again, there was a few like references today as well. A few of them that kind of went over my head, and there were like but there were a few that I kind of understood, but nothing that major. There were like we had the whole, like that section where the Sundarenes brainwashed her and removed her limiters. Is this a Dragon Ball reference? I think so. It might be. Probably. Right. And then we had a lot of other stuff as well. Like there was like I cannot remember them, but there were a few references here and there, and nothing major that immediately clicked in my head, but there were a few that I kind of understood. Right. And yeah, and there you go. That was today's episode. Yeah, let's see what happens. Final episode, we'll see. Oh, there was a whole Iron Man reference as well. I forgot to mention that, and a few others. So yeah. Anyways, next episode will probably come to a conclusion. And like I said, it's interesting to see that previous season we had a Hakari themed conclusion. This time we're having a Karane themed conclusion. So yeah. Okay. And there you go. That was my overall impression. Now, let me talk about this episode scene by scene. In the very first scene, we can see Karane seeing a dream about Rentaro, and Karane, as always, doing her tsundere thing that she does. But this time Rentaro's like, oh, I'm sorry, and he leaves, which kind of scares her when she wakes up. And she's like, damn, like, this might happen in the future, like, because I'm not being able to be honest. There's a possibility this might happen in the future. So next day at school, obviously everyone's doing their thing. Rentaro brings like a little heart, like like a cookie thing, and he's like, usually, usually these are used by couples that break it into two, and eat both of them, like two parts. I bet there's 12 of them, so they'll have to break it into 12 parts. Oh my god. That's funny because the thing is, like, the main thing is, like, you cannot, like, yeah, obviously you can say that you can bring 12 of them, but that defeats the whole purpose of it. You have to break one of them into 12 parts and make everyone eat them. So right, that is the signal, like, like the main reason why this is a, yeah. Anyways, so Kane, as always, like being Sundare, she's like, oh, what the hell, what is this? But then she realizes that, oh no, what am I doing? Can I just not be honest for a little bit? Um, right. And then they're like eating and everything, all of them. Rentaro brings one to Kane. Kane eats it, but obviously, again, she's being her Sundare self. Um, this part is funny. She, like, forcefully just feeds one to Rentaro, but it gets into his eyes, and his eyes become his mouth, and it starts chomping it down. Oh my god. Anyways, everyone's just having a good time, and Hakari's just, like, like, kind of teasing Karane again, all of that. So yeah, Karane looks at everything. Karane looks at these two crocheting, like, and then she realizes that she probably wanted to join them, but she couldn't because she's a Sundare, obviously. In the end, um, Kusuri brings out a medicine drug and says that, oh drat, I was trying to make a, like, reverting me back into my normal size medicine, but I accidentally made a desundifying medicine. God damn it. And I'm like, bro, what? How? What is the connection? But you know what, um yeah. And Karne comes, like, decides to consume that, obviously, because she was thinking what to do about this situation. She consumes it, and when, like, Kusuri gets just flung into her, everyone was thinking she was going to get mad, but she's like, oh, it's fine, don't worry about it. And everyone's shocked, and this is where they realize that she drunk that medicine, and her sundares just went up and vanished. It can just dispersed, like this, like the seven dragon balls, just all on different sides of the hole. I don't know, man. Right, and then we have her being this nice person who's honest. Everyone's a bit confused because they're like, what is going on? How, like, how am I supposed to interact with them now? But then they start interacting and they realize that, oh, she's actually being very honest. Like I said, every single person was kind of happy about a certain part of the situation. For example, Kusuri was happy about, like, defeating her in sumo. We have Hahari happy about the fact that she's getting to see a part of her that she usually doesn't show. um, Hakari is just taking advantage of this situation by telling her to fondle her, which he never would have done. Nano's happy about the fact that she's more efficient now. Mimi is happy about the fact that she's honestly complimenting her now, which she never would have done. Who else? Shizuka and who was the other girl? Meme. Yeah, both of them are happy that she's joining them for the crocheting. That whole thing. And obviously Meido is happy about the fact that her master is happy. So that makes her automatically happy as well. So I think, yeah, every single one was happy about a certain part of this whole situation, except Iku. Obviously, she's like, what is this? I don't want this. She cannot hit me. She will not hit me. She doesn't have that strength. And she's the one who brings up the point that, you know what, it's all well and good, but I like the other Karane as well, which everyone is like, yeah, we can agree to that. And then they're talking about this, and then they were like, you know what, it's just, let's make a Sundarifying medicine. At which Karane is like vehemently against it. She's like, no, like, like, I'm being able to be honest finally. So Rentaro was like, okay, I'll talk with you. So they both go out to a walk, and Rentaro brings her to the place where they first met, and he tells her that, you know what, if you want to be like this yourself, you can, But if you became like this because of some kind of a insecurity or some kind of a fear, and you're forcing yourself to do this, then don't. It's fine, because before how you were, that is how, that is the, because you were like that, that is why I liked you. So you don't have to change yourself, because that defeats the purpose. Like, is yeah, you don't have to worry about anything. At which she's like, yeah, I do want to go back to my previous self. So there you go. Now that we have come to that whole decision, Kusuri makes the Sundarfying medicine, but it doesn't really work, because as she says, where's that part? Does Sundarfying medicine forcefully expel brain signals that power Sundare? Oh my god. AKA the Sundares, Sundarfying medicine absorbs them into the body instead. So that expels this, absorbs, but it didn't really work, because what's that part? Am I back to being a Sundare? Not one bit. No, Sundares released from Kane are gone now. Great. Well, anyways, but then they also explain that, what, she can just generate it within herself as well. So let's just put her into situations where she'll get embarrassed or something. And when her Sundariness usually activates, let's put her in those type of situations. Um, Anyways, so we have Meme complimenting her, because usually in these type of situations she becomes a Sundar itself, but she's like, "Oh, thank you," or something like that. She becomes, right, and yeah, so it doesn't work. Same with Hahari, all that. Hari then says like, "Oh, you come with us." If you go back to your home, your parents might be surprised by your sudden change in personality, which makes sense. So yeah, and Renta was like, you know what? I cannot leave her alone with them. These two crazy, like, parent and child. So I'll go with them. So yeah, they go there to the place, and then, in their room they talk about how they're back to three again. Like back when it all started, and yeah. Okay, so this is where Hakari tells them to, do something, for Rentaro to do something, like, like confess to her, or like, tell her that he likes her or something like that, which he does. But usually kind of would have responded being like, "Oh, I don't, it's not as if I wanted to hear that," and then smacked him or something. But she doesn't. She's genuinely like, "Oh yeah, same, me too." So it's going like in a circle where all of them are end up like, like hugging each other and everything. So it's not really working. So then they're like, Hakari's like, you know what? Let's be more, like, more crazier. So fondle us or something. Fondle her. Right, and because Rentaro is obviously the person that he is, he brings out the Iron Man gauntlet. Oh my god. Yeah, and after fondling them, it doesn't really work. You know, like, yeah, it just goes back to the same damn cycle of them, like, like Karane, not Karane, sorry, yeah, Karane being not her Sundara self and just accepting it. So it's not really working in that sense. So either way, they're like, we have to keep exposing her to these type of situations, so that from the inside it just starts happening. So for today, that was it. Then they go to the bath, and this is where Hakari talks to Karane, and Hakari is like, you know what, like, previous season you helped me, this season I'll help you. Like, to bring you back to your previous self. And then she just starts fondling her, obviously. And while Harry's outside, just like, like bleeding out from her nose, and then they have to give her blood transfusion or something. Yeah, and that's where it ended. Okay, so let's see what happens in the next episode, which will be the final episode of this season. Obviously, I'm assuming she'll be able to get back her Sundara self. So yeah, and that is it. That was my reaction to episode number 11. of the 100 Girlfriends That Really, 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 Really Love You, Season 2. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. And that is it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week with the final episode of this season. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.